Which ideas did the colonists in America use to create their governments? To establish a British colony, one generally needed to have a charter from the king. A charter is a legal document. In colonial times, a charter granted land to a person or a company along with the right to start a colony on that land. Most colonial charters said little about what kind of government a colony should have. As a result, the settlers had to develop their own form of government. Each of the 13 colonies had a government of its own. In creating their own governments, the colonists tried to do two things. They tried to protect themselves from the abuse of power by the British government. They also tried to protect themselves from the abuse of power by their colonial governments. To achieve these goals, the colonists used the basic ideas of constitutional government. All colonial governments were based on the following ideas. Number one, natural rights. Colonial governments were based on the idea that the purpose of government is to protect the people's natural rights to life, liberty, and property. Number two, representative government. The colonists elected representatives to their colonial legislatures. The first elected legislature was in Virginia in 1619. Number three, rule of law. The colonists created a government of laws. The people who made and enforced the laws did not have unlimited power, and they too had to obey the laws. The colonial governments recognized the idea of higher law. This meant that colonial governments should not pass laws that violated the British Constitution. Number four, separation of powers. The powers of the colonial governments were divided among three branches. A governor headed the executive branch. The governor carried out and enforced the law. In most colonies, the king or the owner of the colony appointed the governor. The legislative branch made the laws. Most colonies had legislatures with two houses. The judicial branch was made up of judges and magistrates. The governor usually appointed the judges. The judges were responsible for handling conflicts about the laws. The judges presided at the trials of people accused of a crime. The judges also made sure the colonial laws did not violate the British Constitution. Number five, checks and balances. In many colonies, the branches of government shared power, but one branch could check the use of power by another branch. For example, the governors could not collect taxes without the consent of the legislature.